Good morning. Good morning. So today, oh gosh, today we're going to talk about personal days, personal mental health days. We're getting into that season. I should say good morning. Good morning, Cindy. Cindy's here. Good morning, Cindy. Cindy, tell me about Inspiration Expo in Fort Worth. It wasn't in my budget this year, but I sure did miss seeing everybody. Oh, Mashid, good morning. Good morning. I got your friend request. I'm actually going to send you a link to my group page. That way you don't have to mess around with all my family drama. So what are we doing today? Good morning, everybody. Oh, personal mental health days. We're getting into that season, school season, followed by Halloween, followed by Christmas and Thanksgiving. Oh, Cindy, Impressions was a great time getting to see new friends and making new friends and old friends. Awesome. Barb, good morning. Good morning, Barb. It's good to see you. So, like I was saying, we're pushing into the holiday season. And most of us that do this know that that season runs from like the end of August all the way through to January. For some of us, it feels like it might be starting a bit early. Let me just tell you a little bit about what I've got going on, which will help you understand where this is coming from. I have two large shirt productions. I have another shirt production, another order for four. I have four classes that I am prepping for teaching at events. One of them is the virtual applique getaway, which I hope to start recording today so that it will be ready for all of you. Speaking of which, do you know that there are over 25 classes at for virtual applique getaway, and the class fee for that is just $25 for all of them. And they are good morning, Nikki. Um, and those classes are going to be available from October through February. Something you might want to check into: applique getaway virtual sessions. Good morning, Nikki. So I've got that I'm recording for. I'm hoping to get all the recording done today so that I can do all the edit work and get it put out there. I have three classes that I'll be teaching next spring that I'm prepping for. What else have I got going on? Of course, crazy life is out there. Plus, digitizing orders have been going off the rails. For the last 2 weeks, I have been working with a couple of hour break in there from 9 a.m. to midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's exhausting. But those of you that do this, you know this. Hold on, we have a guest that wants to appear. Here she is. This is Bella. Bella is fast becoming my emotional support animal. All right, Bella, settle down already. You know, when I do these, she thinks I'm talking to her. Yeah. So all of that craziness, plus, everything that's coming in. Cindy says hello. Where do you find time for yourself? Where do you find time to just sit back and not do. And I'm not even talking about doing your off hours stuff, you know, cleaning the kitchen and sweeping the floors and, all of that. I'm talking about just sit down and do nothing. Just find your zen, find your center. You have to do this. You have to do this. If you want to keep going forward with everything that's going on in your life that's feeling like it's just piling up, you have to find that time to do nothing, just to shut everything down and do nothing. Okay, so here's the question. When do you do that for yourself? When do you, even just an hour, just take an hour for yourself? When do you do that? In the last couple of weeks, um, I have been feeling very, very overwhelmed. Just to give you an idea, uh, I had a patch job that I was working through and a couple of shirts. And because I was trying to split my focus on two different things, which I'm usually pretty good at, um, the hoops, as an embroidery person, the one thing you never want to see is a hoop pop. What that means is that the two hoops that come together, pop, and your garment is now in danger of being stitched in such a way that you can't fix it. Yeah, I did that. The patches turned out great. The shirts not so much. And they were special limited edition shirts that I had, and because it was my fault, it's my responsibility to replace those shirts in a timely manner. Um, I spent the day scouring the internet looking for these shirts. Two shirts, $220. Yep. But again, my responsibility because I made the decision um, to split my time between two different projects. So those shirts are supposed to be here this weekend, today actually. Um, and I will make a point to drop everything and just do those shirts so they get done. Let's see. Here we go. Cindy's got a comment. Cindy says, notice that after long, long hours of hooping and sewing, I'm leaning over instead of standing up straight. So I just ordered a back support belt like you see the workers wear. Oh, to give yourself that support to keep you in a good position. Posture wise, poor posture leads to poor mental health in the sense that if you're slumped over and you look like you're down and depressed, you're going to start feeling down and depressed. But if you stand up straight tall, your energy flows. And yes, sometimes our circumstances require us to be bent over, but Cindy, obviously you felt it. um so this is going to help. Lisa Shaw is here. Good morning, Lisa. And Lisa, it's okay. I am dealing with it. Um, the shirts, like I said, it was my fault, my responsibility. I did find, oh gosh, I was so lucky because, like I said, these are limited edition shirts that were sold out everywhere, retail. But I found new with tags, one in New Mexico, one in Washington State, and they're both on their way here. Barb is also thinking about getting uh, a support system to help her sit straight when sewing and at the computer. That's an awesome idea. So this is why it's important. If you start to lose focus, if you start to feel overwhelmed, you need to stop and figure out the priorities. You need Cindy, Cindy, I leave for lunch and walking like a cripple until I can get moving. I stand almost all day, then looking down at my embroidery. Oh, yeah, Cindy. I, okay, yeah, take care of that now, Cindy, because I just had a vision of you, 90 years old, and your knuckles dragging on the floor. Don't do that. Okay, so going back, what do you do for that time, that downtime? Well, I try to take my dinner hour. Um, Actually, these last couple of weeks has been a dinner 2 hours. I'll fix dinner, and then I will sit, take care of that, and then I will sit and stream a movie. Just and I'm a big, action movie fan. So I will just sit and I'll watch a movie to just totally get out of the computer, the machines, the garments, the digitizing, just try to get totally and completely out of that for at least 2 hours. And then I will come back to my computer and do some more work. My problem is once I start working that second shift, the after dinner shift, I keep going and I keep going and I keep going. And next thing I know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I have to get up early the next day. So that's something on me. That's something that I need to pull back from. Um, so how would you do that? What would you do for that? How would you structure your day to get everything done and still not overwhelm yourself? That is the question. And that's something that each of us has to work through for our own situation. Mine, um, I have set up an alarm. We all carry our cell phones these days. I have set up an alarm, and whatever I am working on, when that alarm goes off, I bring it to a stopping point and I shut things down. Yep, just I have to. It'll be there tomorrow, right? Um, I try not to overschedule my day because I do have obligations that I communicate to people. I tell them your design will be back to you after testing the next day. Sometimes it takes longer, um, but for the most part, I try to get everything back the next day. Well, that's in the digitizing. The embroidery, it might take a little bit longer. But so I try to structure my day. But then when I sit at the computer and I start digitizing, I lose track of time and I just keep going and keep going and keep going. So this is very important that I set that alarm so I know I need to stop and walk away. This is something that's important in my situation. What is going on in your situation in your workday that can become overwhelming to you. If you allow this to continue long term, you can affect your mental health as well as your physical health. Stresses, when you don't address an ongoing stress, your body will find physical manifestations of that stress. You'll start to get headaches, maybe. Acid reflux can become an issue. Uh, what is it? What is it called? Irritable bowel syndrome. Nobody wants to deal with that. Heart palpitations, trouble breathing, foggy brain. These are all, yeah, Gusta was saying that he's really bad at setting a timer. Set it once and set it so that it rings every day. Yes, you have, even when you're not working, you'll have to adjust and turn off that timer, but at least you hear it. What does Cindy have here? I hear people say that work from home, if they put a schedule on their door as a reminder. It gets scary out at our shop to work really late. Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't lose track of time, Cindy. Get out of the shop at a reasonable hour. But take care of yourself. Like I said, that physical manifestation can be anything. Um, from my own experience, and this time of year starts to get really rough for me. Anyways, um, how many of you have heard of seasonal affectiveness disorder? It's actually quite common, especially the further north you go. It's when your body does not manufacture the vitamin D it needs. And you know, vitamin D is not actually a vitamin, it's actually a chemical change from the sunlight. If you're not getting outside, if you're not exposing yourself to the sunlight, then your body is not manufacturing vitamin D, and it can cause you to go into a slight depressive mode. That's one of my issues. And one of the things that I've done to compensate for that is my lights. And my LED lights, and I don't never get this right, have they have the same Kelvin measurement as sunlight. That's kind of bright in here. But it helps because I do find myself in here behind my desk all the time. Since Bella and I go outside every day now. Yeah. She likes that. She's a sunbather. Um, let's see. Oh, Barb, what a wonderful idea. Cindy, I have a schedule being my shop is at the end of my home. Lately, I've been having lunch outside to enjoy the fall weather and take time after the shop closes to be outside. That's a wonderful idea. You know what, Barb, I'm going to pick up on that because Bella and I, we do stop for lunch. I think I'll take lunch outside. Yeah, Bella would like that. I would get outside more. Yes. Cindy, yes, it's a daylight type light, but you have to be careful or you think the daylight it's daylight at night. Yeah. Um, and I think that's part of my problem is because Cindy. Cindy says that it's fall in Texas, but it's going to be 100 degrees. So much for fall in Texas. Um, yeah, I think Cindy, I think the lights are part of my problem because I haven't been sleeping well lately. And it's because these lights are on while I'm working. I might need to invest in a secondary lighting system for in the evening so that I don't find myself sitting here, um, taking advantage of my light. So, okay, so people, what do you do on your mental health day? What do you do on the day that you just shut it off and walk away? Do you go for a walk? Gusti, yes, these lights are amazing for color matching. It's you don't get the off color that happens with fluorescence and incandescence. You get a nice natural look in your lighting. Uh, I went to bed with my hair wet last night, Cindy. Yeah, I know. Who knew? Um, though I still need to get it cut. It's just, it's just too long. It's just hot. Um, it could be that I'm getting to that age where hot becomes an issue. Those hot flashes kind of thing. So Barb, she goes outside and has her lunch outside and spends some time outside between work and home. Um, I watch a movie in the evening before going back to work. Cindy, I'll have to keep that in mind. Cindy's saying that she likes the look of my hair longer and that it's great for winter. Um, we'll see how it goes. Right now, I just want to get it up, off, off. Gusta chills with his dogs. I don't know if any of you follow Gusta's page, but he has some amazing puppies. Okay, so they're not all puppies, but he has some amazing dogs. Letty, she goes for a drive. Um, where do you drive, Letty? Do you take a small trip to the local park? Um, do you I would be driving to the Dairy Queen or to the Baskin Robbins. But still, I would be there. Kind of like a Sunday drive. Kind of nice. I'd want to get out of the city though, because that can be stressful in itself. Very good point. Letty's saying that she drives anywhere. Sometimes it's best not to have a plan. I remember when I was a kid, of course, I'm the oldest of six. Uh, so that put eight of us in the house. And we would pile into the car and with, just a little four-door Buick, whatever, we would pile into the car and dad would drive us to the local park and that's all we would do. We would just drive around the park. We would park near the lake and get out and walk down to the lake and come back. And then as he was driving out, there was this hill. And of course, when you're a kid, that hill looks massive. It's a mountain. And he would play that the car was not going to make it up the mountain. And I remember it being just fantastic. It was just awesome to take that drive. It was exciting. Where are we going to make it up the hill this time? Oh, for those of you that don't know, Barb lives kind of out in the country with a lot of land at her disposal. And she's saying that she takes an all-terrain vehicle and drives down the trails, which I bet is amazing. Just all the nature that's out there. Um, that's what I think a lot of us need to do is just get out of the city, get out of the uh, north central Minnesota out in the sticks. Yeah, sometimes I wish I had some of those sticks, but I think the city, yes, we've got all of our conveniences. I got a grocery store just down the street, and I can the library. I've got my choice of a dozen of them within 5 minutes. There are a lot of conveniences to living in the city, but it's also loud and moves fast. And sometimes you just want to slow down and walk away. And that's part of what we need to do for our mental health is just slow down and walk away. But for me, not this weekend. This weekend, I'm going to work my video for my Applique Getaway virtual class. I'm hoping to do all the editing so I can get it all turned in. Then I start working on my classwork for the 3 classes I'll be teaching at Everything Embroidery Market. Those 2 shirts need to be stitched. What else? Oh, I've got more shirts coming in. I've got the other shirt job. Yeah, plus the digitizing. I have a rush job on my table right now that I need to work on as soon as we're done. Okay, so where am I going to find my downtime? Hey, Jesse, good morning. Cindy's saying that they take a 2-hour break for lunch and they might go out to eat and relax in the cool AC. If we go home, we eat and nap before coming back to work. Do you know that's where the siesta comes in? The siesta is an afternoon nap. And what it does, it's supposed to recharge you for the rest of the day. Um, if I take an after, and you got to keep it short. Otherwise, it can be draining in itself. Um, if I take a nap in the afternoon, I don't get up. I don't get back to it. Maybe that's another situation for the alarm. Okay, people. So think about your mental health day. Think about the season that's coming up. Jesse, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being my rewatch team. I appreciate it. Um, keep in mind that this season will come to an end, and in January you can relax a little bit. But in the meantime, you need to do your due diligence. Gusta loves his farm. Lots of work, but you can stop anytime with a cup of coffee and just sit down outside. And I think that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a fresh cup of coffee. Bella and I are going to go sit outside for a little bit, and then I'll come back in and hit the bricks, put the nose to the grindstone. Um, so that's about it, people. You have a great week. Take care of yourself. Schedule, structure. Make sure you put some me time in there. I'm searching over here for there it is.
Wasn't that fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.